and quite a good crowd in to watch the annual City Country match. City, 6 of their side survived from the loss last year at Coffs Harbour. But they pack a hell of a punch in the forwards with Origin forwards. There's their captain, Ryan Hoffman. He's backed up by Williams, Fafita, Bura and Woods, and Grant off the bench. And Country have only got the one Origin forward in their squad of 17. That is their captain, Beau Scott, who's on camera right now and about to lead the Country boys out for the first time. Thanks to Terry Quinn and Trent Barrett and the Men of League Foundation. 14-year-old, there he is on camera. Harley Smith is leading the Country team out onto Caltex Park here today at Dubbo. He suffers from juvenile Huntington's disease and had been playing junior league for Dubbo St John's before the illness forced him to retire this season. So a little thrill there for young Harley Smith, forced to retire much sooner than he would have liked from the game that he loved so much, rugby league. So Country out there, there's a big battle going on here today for the number 6 New South Wales shirt. Jared Mullen from Newcastle up against Josh Reynolds from Canterbury. I mean, will James Maloney be available? One of these two boys, if Maloney is not picked, will more than likely have the 6 in the Origin game. Although it could go to John Sutton. I haven't forgotten him. There are some people thinking it might be Greg Bird. Let's go to the PA. There's a minute's silence to be observed here.
We please stand for a moment's silence as we pay our respects to Country Rugby League Chairman Mr. Wayne Jock Coley, OAM, who sadly passed away in February, aged 61. Jock worked tirelessly to enhance the opportunities for country-based players to represent the CRL and was a passionate supporter of the AAMI Country versus City Origin fixture. In 2011, Jock received the Medal of the Order of Australia in honour of his more than 40 years' service to the game. He'll be sadly missed by the entire rugby league community. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
He was a great man, passionate about rugby league, very passionate about Country Rugby League getting a fair go. Jock Coley. This is the 25th City Country Origin match. The first was played in '87 down at Pertex Stadium or Parramatta Stadium. Here is number 25 now on your screens exclusively and live on 9. Around Australia, and Reynolds it was that sent Fafita back. But the City side, and look at the Country defence. 4 of them involved, and Fafita has coughed it up.
I'll come through, Badge.
So look at the Country players going in with high excitement and encouragement.
Well, you could see it in the pictures in the dressing room before the game that the Country boys were very much together, huddled up, encouraging. And with the first hit of the game, Sims over the top and Adam Docker in underneath, driving Big Andrew Fafita backwards, crash to the ground, the ball comes loose. An advantage to the Country boys straight away.
Well, that's where the scrum's going down. That's the 10-metre line. 20 metres in from touch, and City immediately on the defensive as Mullen drifts across and he finds Mead coming in from fullback. And David Mead, born in Papua New Guinea, plays the ball, still 10 away. This is Tolman with the ball from the Canterbury club. And the line is about 5 away. It's come from Rain and gone on for a big dummy there from Tyrone Roberts. His first rep jumper, playing alongside his clubmate, of course. And now it's gone from Docker. He spares it out to Mullen. It goes along the line out to Big Jamal. And Idris is unable to break that 10-metre line. So the 4th tackle gone for Country, and City, as you would expect, able to repel them at the moment as the 8 goes ahead for the Country, and that is Tariq Sims. and they're right in the middle of the ground. So the kick will probably come from this one, and it does off Roberts, who grubber kicks, and Moylan is there, and he's in the field of play. Well done by the young Penrith number 1. So George Tafua comes in and takes the first, and Falloon is the dummy half. A nice elevation for him to this level. So Fafita certainly not letting go of the football this time. And here's Aaron Woods now. Fafita and Woods, of course, making origin early on in their years in the front row department. And of course, they'll be looking for an Australian jumper down the track, obviously, from Matthew Scott and James Carmel. 20 metres out from their own line. That was Hopewadi who played the ball. They're going to kick early. Adam Reynolds it is. And the South Sydney 5'8", ball bouncing down favourably for David Mead. And we have a look on the left for Kevin Gordon, his Titans teammate. They're both blessed with wonderful speed. As the ball comes down now for McManus from Newcastle, who played the ball on that 40-metre line with down City's end of the ground. Here's Gordon. Falloon it is that hangs on. So from Rain, it's gone from him to Mullen and then to Scott. And Bo Scott held, looking to unload. He looked anxious to unload, didn't he? And Idris goes into acting half. Away then to Mullen again, who dummies to Tolman, takes the defence. So Rain fires it on to Roberts, who again kicks, and that's beautiful work, Josh Reynolds. He snapped it out of the air like he was fielding at first slip. And he'll play the ball 10 metres out from the line. On the sideline today, Brett Finch. Yes, mate?
Yeah, g'day, Ray. The conditions down here are quite cold with a light breeze behind country in the first half, but you've got to give a rap to the playing surface. It's fantastic conditions, really dry, really fast, and should suit both teams.
$1 million spent on the sand base, I believe, under this beautiful grass that you see prepared for the occasion. Penalty going to City. And $4 million more underneath that base of sand.
Well, it's an absolute beautiful playing surface.
Your whistle, Jerry. Yep.
Perfect for the players, and they'll appreciate that.
All the way to the line here.
And wonderful to be here in Dubbo today. What a lovely town.
Tony Williams, the T-Rex, 25 away from the country line now. Fafita taking it up to them. He's really looking for form, Andrew. And ironically, it's in a game like this that I recall seeing him really come to the fore. Here is the halfback. Reynolds going away for a lunge and then pulled down is Hoffman, the 12. They're close to the line. That's Bura in 14 in the black headgear today. Falloon switches the point. Back to Adam Reynolds, and then a really strong tackle by Idris on Dylan Walker it was. Now back to Adam Reynolds. He puts a neat little kick in. It'll be marked in goal by Jack Whiten. So the Raider is able to bring the ball back to the 20-metre line. So we're playing under the NRL rules. It's 7 tackles with the optional. So we're on the second now as Woods takes care of McManus. Now it's gone to Tolman. And it's a penalty going to country. Penalty going to the countryside.
That's good, Walshy.
Inside the 10 is the call.
He's a wonderful reader of defence, Jamal Idris. His tackle there on Dylan Walker was extremely impressive, but he's a smart player. As well as being big and strong, he's quite clever and reads the play very, very well. And he read that one perfectly there to snuff out Dylan Walker's opportunity.
Here goes country again with an attacking opportunity. This is Jackson, again from the Canterbury club. He, I think, was born here, played most of his football at Gulgong and Mudgee, as Tarek Sims takes it to a couple of metres out from the line. Play back to the Dragon, Mitch Rain. Aaron Woods is got him by the scruff of the neck. The ball comes out. Moylan swoops, and City have got the ball. Falloon out to Hoffman. Playing, I think it's something like his 7th game with the City side. 8 origins under his belt already. Dad, of course, foundation hooker with Canberra. It's quite unusual to see Ryan Hoffman, in fact, in this City jumper. given that he's played all his career with Melbourne, but he went to school at St Gregory's at Campbelltown. So the ball comes away to Tariq Sims now, keen to resurrect his career, punctuated by 2 broken legs. And now from Rain, behind Docker, it's gone to Roberts, who sweeps it along the line to Jackson. And Jackson will play the ball on the 20-metre line. So to the right side for Roberts, and now Docker from Penrith. And Woods with the headband on, Fafita and Bura making the tackle. Mullen now off his right foot, puts a left foot kick in, tries to regather. Moylan did well again. They've got Moylan to thank on 3 occasions now for diffusing the situation. Josh Reynolds with a good run, and he's hammered then by his opposite number, I think. Yes, it's Jared Mullen making the tackle on Josh Reynolds, and Adam Reynolds goes to dummy half, and now the Roosters winger Daniel Tupou will play the ball on his own 30-metre line. Falloon to Woods, and comfortable there to meet the young West Tigers. Drop forward, right on the 40-metre line, their own end, City. The feeder gets it up towards halfway. Rain and Roberts, a couple of small men involved in stopping Andrew Fafita. Josh Reynolds along to Adam Reynolds out at second receiver, and he puts a kick in that's gone down over the head of David Mead. It is going to make him play at the ball, though. And it comes out from his line. He puts on a little bit of a sidestep, but down there to put him down is Moylan. So he's just as effective at the other end as he is at his own end of the paddock.
Andrew, the grass looks fairly lush and slow. Those kicks aren't going to run anywhere today.
Yeah, you get the feeling that Adam Reynolds has had a kicky in the last couple of days. He really nailed that ball from 50 metres out, but kicking into the breeze and the soft surface have really pulled up.
Jackson again. Stitches across the top of the right cheekbone. Now McManus, the big winger for Newcastle, played right in the centre of the ground. Mullen to his left foot and driving it down to Moylan again. So he's going to use George Tafua to bring it away. So the Manly winger was hammered down there by a good tackle from Roberts.
Yeah, much better kick there from Jared Mullen. He's mainly been sitting on the right-hand side. That time coming out of their own area. Put himself on the left-hand side to kick the ball. Much better positioning for a left-foot kicker.
Woods underneath a 2-man country tackle. Tariq Sims and Adam Docker, the 2 men responsible. Here's Hoffman trying to chop his way through. Got a ball away. Falloon couldn't quite handle it. Tolman picks it up, and it's play on for country now. 10 metres into City's half of play. Rain going to Idris, dropping in from the centres to take a forward play. 30-metre line, centre ground. Rain back on the inside to Tolman, who looked as though he wanted to pass. It was almost like he got a refusal from Rain. And he goes now on to Mullen. Mullen on to Mead, and Mead was met out there by Dylan Walker and pulled down. So they come back to the open side, back to the middle for Tariq Sims. And the prop forwards for City have got him, Woods and Fafita. Now they go right side for Mullen. He goes short into Scott, who gets it away, and David Mead. David Mead, the number 1 for country, has opened the scoring, much to the jubilation of the, I would imagine, patriotic bulk of the crowd being from the country area.
And as is often the case with representative football, the try doesn't come. Here's the mistake from Hoffman, back to Falloon, the drop ball in the middle of the field. And on the D-Max Isuzu replay, you can see a good ball to Bo Scott, but it's the offload, the awareness of Mead and the laziness of the defenders around them that produces the try. In representative games, particularly when you haven't played a lot together, it's not so much the set plays and the structured plays that'll produce points. It's something like that where someone's able to get an arm free and a teammate's able to anticipate it, pick up the pass and surge away.
It was a Newcastle combination on that right side. Jared Mullen playing to his back rower and captain Bo Scott. Another big thing in representative football is that combinations, where players who have played together a long time or club mates. We saw that little sneaky play from Mullen. It was a no-look pass. Just got the big back rower Bo Scott one-on-one with Adam Reynolds on the edge of the ruck, and that's what caused the offload. David Mead goes over.
If you watch on that, Andrew, too, there were a couple of City forwards that were sort of back on the inside there that just dropped off when the play went past them, and that's where you will get caught out at this level of football. If you're not moving towards the ball all the time, you'll find yourself late on your assignment, and there were a couple of forwards there that should have got across and closed down that offload, or whoever the offload went to.
Studying concentration for Tyrone Roberts. Just off line, just off centre line, and raises the flags. So Country taken first points. After about 12 minutes, they lead 6 points to 0. Overcast day at Dubbo.
Stay on, fellas.
It's been very, very cold. Some ice and snow around. Welcome back to Dubbo, to Caltex Park for the 25th City versus Country Origin encounter. Country 6-0 with the try to David Mead, converted by Tyrone Roberts.
Come on, Terry.
I'm reminded that Country have won 3 of the last 4 encounters. And that's a determined run again there, offered by Josh Jackson. And this is Tolman. Really, and mightn't have a lot of Origin forwards, as I made the point pretty strongly at the top of the telecast. But I tell you what, they have got. They've got a lot of toilers. Docker, who's got the ball. Sims wants it, has got it. Tolman, Roberts, Mullen now, and Mullen trying to work through the middle, and Falloon wraps him up with Bura. Rain goes over to the boot of Roberts now, and he kicks high. There's a little breeze behind him. Moylan stands his ground. It's an unblemished performance from young Moylan so far. A name of the future, you would think, and this is Hopawate back from his missionary duties. Danny Badiris is assistant country coach. Danny, I guess from a Newcastle point of view, you're pretty happy.
Yeah, Rabs, it's obviously we haven't done too much structure, but we'd like them to fall in a bit more in good ball. Look a little bit lost at times, but that's going to happen with the new team playing together. But good start. I think we're worrying them around the ruck, which is good.
Here's Hopawate. Tackled inside the 40-metre line. Now we're down Country's end. Josh Reynolds stabs a kick. Mead goes over, but he'll be beaten to it by McManus. Talking of Newcastle and talking of Danny Badiris.
Get out.
Played then by McManus, and they come away from the 20-metre line with this very talented kid from Canberra, Jack Whiten. And now Kevin Gordon, and around the legs is Beau Falloon, doing a big job of blocking the middle up. He's really working hard as Whiten again takes a run. Comes off second best for his effort. Bura making the tackle. Now for Roberts, and the pass is ordinary. And Mullen had to clean it up and gave an inside ball for Idris, and the big fellows come down and got the ball to Mead, and Mead is through. Pulled down by Fafita, desperate tackle by the front rower. Mullen puts a left foot kick in, fielded by Moylan, and Moylan comes away, and outside the 30-metre line, it goes out there with the centre, Dylan Walker. Now Daniel Tupou. Held by Jamal Idris, and he lost the ball, Tupou. He said knock backwards, the referee. Jared Sutton and Gavin Badger, the referees today. Hoffman again on the back end of the juggernaut of defence from the forwards from Country. And now for Walker. And Beau Scott is there with Idris. Adam Reynolds behind Aaron Woods, out to Andrews Fafita, and Fafita is able to chest through. Here's Moylan again. He's all over the park. He's going to kick, and chasing is Josh Reynolds. He marks the ball and scores. That's a fabulous try.
What a good try.
That is absolutely fabulous. What about the fullback? He's having a blinder of a game, and then the perfect kick for Josh Reynolds.
Oh, it was great football there from the fullback, Matt Moylan. Fafita gets the ball. You have a look where Moylan comes from. He's about 10, 20 metres away from the ball here. But he anticipates the offload. Watch him sprint to get in position here for offload from Fafita. Gets in the clear and then sums it up beautifully on the Isuzu D-Max replay. The chip over the top and then the 5'8". Josh Reynolds goes over. That's a great try.
Well, it's an incredible try because they were going nowhere in the first few plays of the set of 6. They were bogged down on the same blade of grass over on the left-hand side of the field. They came to Fafita, the offload, and Matty Moylan into the backfield, read it well. Lovely placed chip kick, and Reynolds is able to beat Docker to the ball. That's a brilliant try. And as Ray Warren has pointed out, it's been a faultless opening to the game from the City fullback, young Matt Moylan. Look at that, summed it up nicely. Knew he couldn't get the pass to his support. Kicked it high enough in the air for Reynolds to get under it, knowing that the 5'8" would probably outpace the forward to the ball. And Reynolds, as he always is, on the spot, following the play, beavering around, looking for something. Roberts.
Reminding you and I very much of another number 6 that played for Canterbury. Terry Lamb, of course. Probably considered by most of us as the best support player the game has seen in a long, long time. The extra 2 are there. It was a fabulous try. You won't see too many better tries than that. Fafita, he's got to get a rap for getting it away, but Moylan, hasn't he put a stamp on the game already?
Time your run, boys.
Of course, the one position that Origin is very much clouded at the moment with injuries to most of the prominent number 1s. And now we've watched the display being put on by the Penrith number 1. I'm not suggesting he's ready for Origin, but what a display. It sort of indicates we've got a fair few number 1s around that can play the game okay.
Yeah, and it all started with big Andrew Fafita, don't forget. I mean, that's what he offers as a front rower that other front rowers in the game probably don't provide, is the ability to skip across the line, straighten up off the right foot, get the arm around the corner. There aren't too many front rowers in the game that can produce that play. He broke them open there with a lovely offload.
Papawati. Well, we've seen some tries this year. That's one of the classic tries. Brad Fittler, coach of City.
Yeah, that was good, Brad. It was actually the first set where we sort of won any tackles. I think our big fellas have been upended a bit for the first 20 minutes, and I think our little fellas have kept us in the game. But like Gus said, he drew for Fafita. He just has that unbelievable talent to be able to just, for a front rower, turn nothing into something.
Yeah, Freddie, you just brought Andrew Fafita off. He played 18 minutes. Give him another run before the half's out.
Yeah, mate, just trying to get him that explosive like that run we just saw. If we can get him thinking like that and not thinking 80 minutes, hopefully it becomes more effective for the team. So, yeah, he'll get back on before half-time.
Thank you, Brad. Fittler, the coach.
Right with the scrum match.
City. Jack Whiten taking exception to something that happened in that piece of combat. And when they took a picture of Fred, I thought he was down a well or something. thought he'd fallen down a disused well or a gold mine or something.
Well, it's a nice commentary box you've organised us for here today, Ray. It's open air, freezing cold. You couldn't have organised a window at the front for something?
Well, compared with some of the old broadcasting boxes and the facilities they provided, I think it's a mezzanine broadcasting box. The trouble with you fellows of the younger generation, you've been spoiled by air-conditioned boxes back in Sydney and Brisbane. Tupou played that ball, and that's Clemmer who's out there now from the Canterbury club. And Falloon getting it away. It's gone out to Williams, or Tim Grant, I should say. Tim Grant in 17, not David Clemmer. Papawati now for Buren. Buren is going to be upended 25 metres out in the country line. So 6 points all. David Mead scored for country, and then we've seen an absolute Bobby Dazzler scored by Josh Reynolds. So City attacking now, and Adam Reynolds puts a little kick in. Moylan's after it. He got a check in running. The ball is loose and forced by country. So it'll be a line drop out. We'll come back and see what happens after this.
Tried the block on that play on the chaser. Okay. Just let him know that we saw just a block. Don't change your line. It's all right. It's all right. Just a tip. Keep behind it, boys.
So line drop out time for country.
In the middle, Jared.
6 all. Gus talking about broadcasting facilities. Remind us that a lot of the AMCO Cup winners from 1974 Western Division are here today. With a match at Orange, a semi-final when they beat Manly on a penalty countback, sitting aloft a scaffolding tower as high as the goalpost, and I hate heights. And let me tell you, the breeze was blowing exactly you know where. And Gus is complaining about what we've got here. Grant took that ball up, Adam Reynolds got it away, and that's Hoffman with the ball. It's 10 metres out from the line, Hoffman. Falloon now to Buehrer, and Buehrer drifting across and to put himself through a little crack. Closed by Jackson. Falloon's got numbers on the right side, and it's been flopped back to Williams. He got it back to Buehrer. Back they go to Grant, and not bad coming off the bench, an Origin player. Woods is with it now. 3 metres out from that line, as you can see. Long into Reynolds, a little kick. Oh, what a take by Daniel Tupou. There he is, the aerial man, the pilot.
Cheers. Wow. We're on last tackle. Try. Just clear onside in the contest, mate.
Yeah, he's just checking the tarmac was his. Of course the tarmac was his.
Well, isn't he a target? We saw last year in the grand final, went over the top of David Williams a couple of times, and here, a beautiful kick by Adam Reynolds. They're all on side there. Puts the ball straight on top of James McManus, and have a look at Tup.
Have a look at him.
Up above.
I said last week...
Well, how do you stop him? There's no way to stop that.
You can't defend against it, as Gus will tell you. But I said the other day, get him a telephone booth and a cape.
What
well,
for?
They want to check the challenge here, and I think it's illegal. I don't think you're allowed to jump 22 feet in the air in today's world. That's just inhuman. He was so far up there, he nearly had a nosebleed.
My God, he's good to watch. So we've got our third try of the day. The second for City. Daniel Tupou with another of his aerial exhibitions. Breathtaking is the word.
And in representative football, where tries are hard to come by, the ability to kick to someone like this and just pluck a try out of nothing will be a very, very valuable asset. If not this year, well, certainly in the future. And he is a rep player of the future. That's just wonderful. Look at that. He'd be beating anyone in the air in the NRL with those leaps.
I know one thing, the coach was a very good player, but he never got that high. Daniel Tupou. I've been fascinated by many players in a long span of having the honour of doing this job, but not many excite me more than Daniel Tupou is at the moment. So Adam Reynolds, who provided the beautiful kick. We've seen two fascinating tries scored by City. And so there's the kick, and he's offline. So 10-6 to score, and Brett Finch on the sideline.
Yes, watching the Anzac Day game last week with Freddie on the sideline, he was really impressed with this guy, Daniel Tupou, and how much he wanted him in the side. And I think this afternoon he's just showed that line back up his coach's decision. Outstanding leap for the try.
One thing he's very good at, Brett Finch, is coming out of his own backfield too. He's really willing to get in there and do some work. Of all the players at the Roosters, the outside backs, he's the one that does the most runs in any game, coming in, helping the forwards and charging it up. And he does it for 80 minutes too.
Australia, your favourite show, The Voice, is back tonight right after the news. New superstar coaches Kylie Minogue and Will.i.am. They join Joel and Ricky, taking the show to a whole new level. The Voice blind auditions tonight after the news at 6, and then followed at 8 by 60 Minutes tonight. Here is Aaron Woods. And 7 metres his own side of halfway. We're not broadcasting from much elevation today. It's amazing the difference that elevation makes. The commentary, and likewise our cameras haven't got the elevation that they normally can get. Here's the kick from Adam Reynolds, taken by Kevin Gordon. And Gordon comes swerving out to be nailed on the 30-metre line. Josh McCrone from Canberra's gone on, and he'll be the dummy half in place of Mitch Rain. The feeder is going to come back. It's not been off very long. This is Finucane from the Canterbury Club. Dal Finucane playing the ball on the halfway. McCrone, Mullen, then Idris. And Idris has got Dylan Walker hanging in there, together with Adam Reynolds, the two South Sydney lads. Now the kick by Mullen, end on end, and it's going to beat Moylan down there. In fact, Moylan doesn't want any part of it.
I was having a talk to country coach Trent Barrett during the week, and he was saying the players that impressed him during camp, in particular the Bulldogs players, Tolman, Finucane and Jackson. He said very, very professional about the way they go about their work, strong boys. He thought all were very well suited to representative football. He was quite impressed with the three of them.
This game being played in Dubbo for the second time. It was here in 2006. Dubbo, of course, the capital of Western New South Wales, I'm told by the local member. And I think it might be. I've only been here a brief time, but I've seen plenty. There's plenty to see. It's on the banks of the Macquarie. You've got the zoo, which is a drive-through zoo, if you wanted to be. Wonderful place to come. Golf course looks fabulous. Racetrack looks brilliant. What more do we want, Joe? Here's Grant. Called racing here for about 5 years. It's a lovely town, a lovely city, really. Josh Reynolds. Now Hopewadi. What are you doing? You're not smirking. You put me off when you do that. Adam Reynolds. And the outside runners just onside and taken back there well by David Mead.
Yeah, they're into a nice rhythm now, the City boys. On the back of some good possession and a couple of tries for confidence. They're starting to make ground a little bit better than they were in the early stages. And Reynolds coming into his own with the kicking game.
They might have had much of the possession early, but they haven't got it now. I see the percentage is running 57% to City. And Tolman is off for the Countryside. This is Vaughan from Canberra. This is the youngster that pulled that game out of the fire against Melbourne for Canberra a couple of weeks ago. Roberts kicks high, and Tupou lost it. He lost it. He had the fingers out. Now he's saying, it went backwards, didn't it? Well, the answer is no, it didn't.
Wow. I think he miskicked this one, and it sort of flopped around a little bit, and with a bit of breeze up there, he's back, he's forward, he's reaching, and then he hardly got anywhere near it. It was a difficult one. I don't think he actually nailed it, Andrew, did he?
That was one of those torpedo spiralling bombs where you actually put too much overspin on it. And sometimes they're the kicks to hit. You saw Daniel Tupou there. I think his feet let him down. He saw when the ball was in the air. He planted his feet with those torpedo bombs. You have to keep your feet alive.
He's better at 39,000 feet than working for the ground staff. That's the point. Here it is with Mead coming across to Whiten. And he's wrestled down by Hopewadi. They're only 12 metres away from the line. And it's a high ball for McCrone to take. And the ball has gone on now to Robbie Rocco, I think it is, in 17 for Country. It is. The Newcastle forward is on. Now Finucane along the line to Roberts and out to Mead. And Mead, who got the first try of the game, has played the ball close to the line. Taken down by Hoffman. Idris's pass is pretty wild, really. Roberts, McCrone, waving Mullen in, getting the ball out to Jackson. Jackson's a couple of metres from the line. Here's a chance for McCrone. He's got the winger. There's Kevin Gordon. Gordon has scored. If he hasn't put a knee on the sideline, Kevin Gordon, I think, has got a try. His knee does go on the sideline, but I think it's after grounding.
Just have a look at this touchline for us, thanks.
He stumbles a little bit. He sort of catches it awkward, and he's trying to get to the try line as quickly as he can, but his feet sort of taken from under him. Let's have a look at the leg. The knee comes down. I think he's okay. No problem. He's well inside. Well inside. And a lovely ball there from Josh McCrone. Let me tell you about this young man. Whether he's playing half 5'8" or dummy half, there are tries in him. There's always creativity around Josh McCrone. He's a player that does prize the opposition open. He's got a really good vision.
Yeah, way I like to describe Josh McCrone is the decision comes up.
It's got to be green.
Yeah, it's a green. Way I describe Josh McCrone, he's very quick across the ground with his feet. He can be very fast, and he makes outside defenders get very nervous. But he's got very soft and slow hands. Usually when he gets out of dummy half, or if he plays first receiver, he can get across fast, and it makes the outside defenders nervous. And he's got a beautiful pass on him, beautiful soft hands.
Yeah, there's always points around him. I often watch him for Canberra, and I think, gee whiz, this kid's a real player. And a tough one now from Tyrone Roberts. The breeze blowing straight down the ground, so he'll probably bring this in right to left.
It has strengthened to the wind. So Roberts from Newcastle, he's not allowed enough. And so the scoreboard remains at 10-10. Very much like these games and their tradition, very close. 10-all at the moment to break and back. So the ball just falling off the tee there for Adam Reynolds. I'm reminded, there's, you know, a lot of criticism about City Country and the value, but Maloney, Fafita, Merritt and Cordner made Origin debuts from this game last year. Before then, Carney and Buera back in 2012. So here's Country now with Rocco bringing the ball away. Nice work there by McCrone for Country. Danny joining us in the commentary, the assistant coach.
Yeah, good ball there, Rabs. Still looking a little bit clunky and good ball, so our halves have got to get a bit more depth, and so yeah, we've got to finish that a little bit better with our completions as well.
Danny Bedeiros, assistant to Trent Barrett, and Mullen's kick. Is that inside the 40, Joe? I think it is.
It's a 40-20.
It's a 40-20 from Mullen. And they take the tap under the new rules. There's no scrum. All the players are onside and the referee is in position, so they take advantage of the new rule, and Rocco is 2 metres out from the line. Wonderful kick from Mullen. And now it's almost like a wasted tackle as Finucane goes to ground under the grasp of Grant. And now from McCrone, back to Roberts, floating. Here's Mead, and David Mead with speed to burn, scores his second try.
Have a look at what happens.
Well, that was all the 40-20 from Mullen.
Yeah, lovely kick from Jared Mullen, putting them on the attack, the quick tap. And on the second play, the explosiveness of Mead. They're having a look at an obstruction here. Josh Jackson goes through, but it's just a bad read from Reynolds, who bumps in, backs off, and then is left stranded. It's really an outside defender in on a decoy runner. The 12 Jackson goes through. It's an outside-in contact by Reynolds. This will be a try. Wonderful speed from Mead. It's a bad read in defence, defensive error, and this will get the green lights. Won't be a problem.
So David Mead will get his second try. It's there for everybody to see that Josh Reynolds has made the choice to tackle the block, and the try has been awarded. So it should be. So Country have struck again.
And there's an example of why the coach Trent Barrett was impressed with these Bulldogs back rowers. You see the genuine line here on the Isuzu D-Max replay. It was the option of the number 12 there, Josh Jackson. The way he looked like a genuine ball runner that sucked in the opposition 5'8" there, Josh Reynolds. It's all about professionalism and discipline of your decoy runs.
Roberts now reminded of that breeze. It's coming stronger, and he's put it out a bit wider this time. Picks up the 2.
Yeah, he just gave that one a little bit more push to the right, didn't he? And he got in there and nailed that one, and all of a sudden, bang. Lovely play here by Country. Quick play the ball, in position nicely. Their structures actually look pretty good. They've broken down a little bit when play's been really close to the try line, but with a little bit of room to move there and a disorganised defence, they picked them clean. They got them nicely there.
Country then by 6. This weekend, of course, marks the start of the rep season, and Holden, State of Origin Game 1 at Suncorp, just 24 days away. celebrating the 100th State of Origin game ever played. It promises to be a wonderful night. Then 3 weeks later, Sydney gets its turn, game 2 at ANZ Stadium. Tickets available for both games, and to secure your tickets, go to ticketek.com.au. There'll be, I'm pretty sure, a wonderful extravaganza. Here's Robbie Rocco breaking through. He's pulled down eventually by Fafita, and he's been there too long, and a penalty is awarded.
It's a tough run there from Robbie Rocco.
Yeah, you got Josh coming on your back. Josh came in on your back. You got to be out of there quick.
Love this when forwards are tipping onto the line. See Robbie Rocco there, back rower from the Newcastle Knights. Strong line on the outside of Finucane.
Roberts finding the line. Just come back to that Origin comment in a moment in regard to the 100th, which is the first of the year at Suncorp. Jackson playing the ball, McCrone the dummy half, Rocco the ball carrier. 5 metres out from the line. Again, Country threatened. They've put 2 together quickly. Now they look at the same side to go again. And it's Roberts who's held. Bureau's got him around the leg. Josh Reynolds wraps up the torso. And McCrone to the middle, picking up Finucane. And Finucane backing up towards the uprights. McCrone, right side this time. And then Mullen, in comes Mead. This is Idris with the ball. He'll offload. He does. Mead actually couldn't catch it, tried to kick it, and kicked it into the hands of Reynolds. Now they're showing him the sideline. And it's a penalty going to City.
No, wait. How, mate? Get behind it.
Adam Reynolds.
Thanks, Wiz.
Take it over the sideline, but the referee had called held. It wouldn't matter if he didn't, if there's a leg lifted. That constitutes a succumbing tackle.
Play the ball, Dylan.
So Dylan Walker plays the ball. Hoffman's with it, Gus.
I was just going to say, I mean, with 36 minutes of play, these two teams have had a short, limited preparation. But I think the two coaches, Brad Fittler and Trent Barrett, have done really well. These teams look organised and enthusiastic. They're up for the clash. Obviously means a lot to these players, so well done to the coaches. They've got these boys ready to play.
It's Darcy Lassick in jumper 19 out there for the City. And then Adam Reynolds, a nice pass, but Idris was right on top of Dylan Walker and squashed him, ball and all. 18 metres out, that might have taken a bit of the wind out of Dylan. Now Adam Reynolds kicks down into McManus's corner. That's Tupou's corner. And Walker flick passes. Reynolds shapes to kick. He does that across the ground, and Whiten again is able to shut it down.
Oh, it's great skill on that play. First with the take from Tupou, then the ball back to Dylan Walker, the flick pass, and then the wobbly kick. And Jack White never panicked on his own line. That was great skill all around.
He had a fair bit of hang time there, Tupou. He sort of jumped on Tuesday and landed on Friday. He just stayed still in the air. The ball went behind him, and he was able to reach back and catch it and then offload on landing. Pretty clever stuff.
Play by Vaughan. Now McManus. And James, he was away apart from a hand on the coattail from Fafita. Now to Mullen. Shape gave it away. Jackson floats it. Well taken. Kevin Gordon and kick. He's after it, but then Moylan's in his road and it goes into touch. Who did it go off?
Yeah, City feed.
It's a City feed.
Yeah, mate.
It's been ruled that Gordon played at the ball and it went into touch, and the other lad did not play at the ball.
He did really well here, Matty Moylan. I mean, it's his first go in the rep colours and he's handled himself very well, but he didn't panic there. He knew that ball was going to come down close to the sideline. He knew any play by him was going to end up with a feed going back to Country, so he waited and waited until Country had another play at it. Friday night football, Cowboys and Broncos. Will be the Brisbane game, live at 7:30.
It's at Townsville, but it's the Queensland game at 7:30, Cowboys and Broncos. And we've got Roosters and Tigers at Allianz. Roosters and Tigers. It's the New South Wales game. So we're getting very, very close to the break here in front of a crowd that has brave, not so much today, but the weather yesterday was very, very cold. And as I said, ice on the road between Lithgow and Bathurst as I drove up. Here's a penalty going to City.
Standing in front of you. You got to be over.
But this crowd,
boys.
I think there was 11,000 here in 06. It's probably up around 10 or 11 now. So that kick gives City a chance on the half-time siren to do something, with Fafita driving it towards the centre like a wedge. He'll play it inside 20 and plays it back for Beau Falloon. And here is Tim Grant taking it up inside the 10-metre line. Timepiece says 30 seconds to go. Falloon. Here's Josh Reynolds, and then the ball goes to ground, and Country have got it, but a knock-on has been ordered. So I don't know that we'll get this scrum in, and it doesn't really matter.
No, it's time. 12 seconds left on the clock. We won't get a scrum feed here. And a pretty good half of football. Both sides playing well together as teams, and we've seen some great individual moments as well as players stamp their case for a sky blue jersey in the upcoming Origin series.
I don't know, mate. I'm not the timekeeper. Heads, let's go, boys. I'm not the timekeeper. Heads in, Andrew. Heads in at the back.
So, after
I don't know, mate.
it was a pregnant pause, almost an unnecessary pause, we have got half-time. And at half-time, Country lead City by 6 points. It's been 16-10. Some lovely tries scored, memorable tries. We'll break and come back to Caltex Park at Dubbo in just a moment. There's a miserable crowd, size-wise, but here at Dubbo, it's a much bigger crowd today. It's a lovely ground, this. This is what we need. A few more grounds around New South Wales and Queensland where we can take some premiership games out to the people and televise them back to the city. That's my belief. And down at Mudgee, they're right. They're okay. This is fine. This is really the hub of Western New South Wales here. Roads leading everywhere. Peak Hill and Parks and Gambler.
Keep behind it. Here we go, boys.
So the second half underway, and Adam Reynolds kicks off and gets us going. The second 40 minutes of play. The New South Wales Origin coach, Laurie Daly, will join us shortly, and we'll be able to put a couple of questions to him about, I would think, a couple of obvious dilemmas that he's got. That was Vaughan taking it ahead for Country. Now for Jackson. McCrone, the dummy half. That's for Newcomb. That hurt. He sort of looked around at Tim Grant as if to say, where the hell did you come from? Now Vaughan up towards halfway. Played about 20-odd first-grade games. And then, of course, that memorable try the other day, as I said, down against Melbourne in Canberra. This kick stopping, and Moylan going away to Tafua.
Well, that's a change since half-time. George Tafua's now moved to the left wing, and Tupou over the right. George Tafua, or both of them play left winger with their club team, so either the players or the coach has decided to give them half a game each on their favoured left side, and that'll suit George better.
Hoffman. What was said at half-time, Danny, by the coach?
Yeah, pretty happy, Rabs. Yeah, it's a pretty good 40 minutes from us. Yeah, just that the worry is that good ball stuff. I think we really get those opportunities. Don't come around too often, but got to make the most of them. So spoke about that and pretty happy with our completion rate. We're up to 82%, so we're happy.
David Mead has been good for you, Danny, before you go.
Yeah, it's been real good, Rabs. So a bit more support, getting around, sniffing around that ball a bit more, and pretty much from the whole team as well. But Meady's doing a really good job.
Thank you, Kevin Gordon. And McManus. He's a wonderful winger, James McManus. He really puts his hand up and take some of the pressure away from the forward. This is Idris now. Mead, dummy half run, using explosive speed. And he's got to play almost up to the halfway line now with that effort of his. This is Jackson. Now McCrone and Mullen. And Mullen stab kicks it back down to Tafua. George coming out to the 20-metre line, looked at by Idris, and Idris just consumes him in the defence. Now for Dylan Walker. Just inside the 20-metre line. 16-10 Country. And 3 tries to 2. David Mead has got 2 tries. Kevin Gordon the other. So the Titans have been very good, haven't they? Very, very good for Country as far as putting points on the board. Falloon, he's done a wonderful job for City as well, particularly in defence. The tries for City scored by Reynolds and Tupou, both spectacular contributions. Here's Fafita dropping it down. Grant has got it, wants to get rid of it, and Rocco says, no, hang on a moment. You're not going anywhere with it. So player in the play the ball doesn't obstruct play. They let it go on. Josh Reynolds off his left foot, runs around to link up with his blindside players. Hopewadi puts a kick in, and it's going to go into touch.
Let's go swap. Let's go swap, mate. Yep. You good? Yeah.
Sideline comment, Brett Finch. Brett?
Yeah, Ray, a strong 40 minutes by both number 6s in that first half. Josh Reynolds really busy in that opening exchange, scoring that perfect try off the end of Matt Moylan's kick. And Jared Mullen's 40-20 really kick-started Country, especially in that back end of that half. So a big second 40 ahead for both boys, really important for their origin claims.
Heads in, boys.
Unpacking.
Head in there, Will. All the way in, Matt.
Way back down.
There, Josh. Okay,
Near the Country line. McManus doing exactly what I said earlier. Not that it's foreign to the good wingers.
You've got...
They come in and look for work, many of them.
You're going to play offside, Jared.
Badger telling him you've got a player offside. I think Gabba might have been looking for an excuse.
So you play to what we call.
Might be a little smother there, I think, by the badge.
Well, we were going to have quick taps this year, and I think I've seen every one of them pulled up. There haven't been too many allowed to go on at all. They can always find an excuse to pull them up. The excitement is in the fact that you play on.
Jackson. Now, Vaughan. He's a big unit.
Oh, he's impressive. Very explosive for a front row. It's got tremendous speed.
Finucane chancing a pass. It's okay to play on. It's gone away from Whiten out to Gordon, and Whiten wants the ball back in the middle, but Gordon goes down under the defence. They're 15 metres out from the line, Country. It's gone away from Jackson, on to Finucane, Canterbury to Canterbury. And Finucane held there by Lussick in 19. Now for Vaughan. And then for Mullen, and Mullen goes short into his captain. That's gone forward, then lost by City, but it went backwards off them, and Moylan is tackled about 12 metres out from his line. So the 16 and the 8, it's David Clemmer from Canterbury, about to go into the game. And the return, of course, for Aaron Woods into the game. Tufua tackled on the 30-metre line. 16-10, and the pass in no man's land. Woods was meant to get it, but he's long gone. And now it's with Dura left to clean up the mistake. And here is Hopewadi coming away. I saw Josh Reynolds in there. I thought for a moment he was going to do some dummy half work, which we've been told he will. Falloon is back there now. This is David Clemmer, and he'll play the ball 35 metres away from Country's line. Young and talented. He was under 20s player of the year a couple of years ago. David Mead again. Now he's tackled. Tackled in mid-air.
I understand.
And you can do it on Friday night, but you can't do it today under this rule.
He's been terrific, David Mead, today. It's only in recent times that he's moved to fullback to cover for William Zillman at the Gold Coast Titans. He's more known as a winger. And I think right wing is probably one of the contentious positions Laurie Daly is looking at in this Origin team. So the fact that we know he can play right wing and can handle fullback if there happened to be an injury, which is not an easy position to cover on the night if someone was to go down.
Scott!
He hasn't done his chances any harm with his performance today.
Here's Mead again. In around the back of the play of the ball and really making himself busy. Brett Finch on the sideline.
Yeah, speaking of wingers there, Gus, a quick question for you, Joey. Maybe you might have more of an idea of this. The City wingers have swapped over to start this second half. I'm not too sure why. Maybe you'd have some reason for that.
Well, George Tafua, he plays left on the left for Manly. Pretty much played his whole career there. And you watch George Tafua when he runs the ball. He holds the ball in the left hand. He's got a tremendous left foot step, so he's far more comfortable on that side.
Here's Mullen stepping around his opposite number just that time. The kick back into the middle. And it's come down with Moylan. He loses the ball. The referee will decide to put a scrum down.
We're going to go here, change over.
And it's a changeover. So City will come up with the ball with Adam Reynolds. And Gus made the point when talking of that very subject earlier on about Tafua and Tupou. The coach has decided to give each winger at least a half a game on his favoured side. Here's Woods on the 30-metre line, Aaron. This is Clemmer. He's tapered down, hasn't he? He's been decorated with that under 20s medal a couple of years ago, but he's tapered down since then. Josh McCrone, just a little bit of an injury there. Woods running off Clemmer. Josh Reynolds came through, loose ball. And Tyrone Roberts with the ball now for Country. Country by 6. There's Whiten, who's been good. Now this will be a penalty. Once the man lying in the play the ball becomes an obstruction to the attacking side, they are deserving of a penalty.
You're talking about players who impress. I think the centre Jack White may not play Origin this year or maybe even next year, but I see him as a player who's going to have a long representative future. Last year at Coffs Harbour, he was one of the best on the field as a 20-year-old. You see there, he's got no fear. He'll start the sets rolling forward, and that's what you want off your outside back.
Here's Gordon, drifting towards middle ground. He's going to play it with the try line just 10 metres in front of him. McCrone, 17 is Rocco, now Roberts, now Mullen, now Idris. Good tackle on Idris by Tafua. Big man on big man. Now it's come away to Coleman. He'll play the ball with no gain in ground. That's the 10 in front of him. So McCrone to Finucane this time. 5 away. And the 5th tackle. Mead puts a little kick in. Moylan again is there to clean up. His football is over there. Did a job in the cleaning industry, no problem at all. Matt Moylan, he started the game, as I said, brilliantly. It was almost embarrassing the number of times you had to give him a rap. Here's Walker. Gus, of course, probably not as gushing in his praise. He's thinking of his contract, how much more they'll want after this. Clemmer. Reynolds keeping it low and in between the players, making a good chance for Adam Reynolds to come right down the ground and make that tackle. That was the placement of the kick from Josh Reynolds that enabled all that to be the case that it was. Played by David Mead now. Whoa! And they come in and they blindside him, and away goes the 18. Leisha plays the ball 10 out. Now it's come to Fafita. The big Cronulla front row forward. Origin forward. A metre out from the line. Leisha is the dummy half. And now back to Clemmer. But they'll hold him up in goal. And that is the 3rd tackle. This youngster out there now that I'm describing to you Michael Leisha. He's the youngster from Cronulla that is signed to play with Canterbury. Here's Josh Reynolds across to Ryan Hoffman. Hoffman put down by Beau Scott, captain on captain. Leisha gets it on. Josh Reynolds turns it in. Aaron Woods is with the ball. And he's put down eventually by the final tackle, the fourth tackle, which was Aidan Tolman. Now to way to Reynolds, gone on to Moylan. Moylan away to Hopoate. He tried to catch and pass. Now it's picked up by Tupou, and he'll be put down. 6 more tackles. Tupou, 10 metres out. Leisha away. Clemens with the ball. Chance to offload. They take him to ground a metre out. So penalty now goes to City. The
1 foot,
Country
Aidan.
are going to have their work cut out holding
1 foot.
City out now.
Okay, come on, mate. 1 foot. It's okay.
Repeat sets. And for Fifita it is the first to take it ahead. Leisha.
Come through, Gemma.
Then Josh Reynolds. Put down by Rocco. The tackle was broken. Got it back to Leisha, looking for the line, and he's short. He will play the ball. David Clemmer has found himself at acting half. It comes back to Adam Reynolds, who dummies to Hoffman, who loses the ball. Beau Scott has got it. It might be a knock-on against Country, and that will give City another repeat set. We'll take a break and come back in just a minute.
Make sure we bind.
Right side,
Over
Jamal.
Seconds bind.
Second row's here, Badge.
This is the scrum.
Seconds get in a bind.
Again, City will get the ball back.
Where's the seconds? Bind them up.
Adam
Wait,
Reynolds
wait,
just
wait,
having
wait.
a look over his shoulder towards George Tafua.
Got a City feed here, Brad.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. It was knocked on by Beau Scott. So, oh, gee, that's an awful pass from Dylan Walker. It's found Buren. Maybe through pure luck, not through pure management. And so Hopewadi gives the ball to Woods. And Woods 8 metres out from the line. Tackled by Rocco, who's done some good things. Here's Clemmer. Hasn't had a lot of minutes in the game, but he's been very busy. Leisha waiting, and then Reynolds, and it's Adam Reynolds who tries to sidestep his way through, but he's short of the line. So if they can hold out here, it'll be, and here's the outside-inside ball from Hoffman to Moylan. So again, the last tackle is with them. And City have had repeat after repeat. The kick is high, and it's come off the hands of Hopewadi and gone forward.
Knock on, boys. Fill the
So
play.
to come out to the 10, and there'll be a changeover of possession. Brett, sideline.
Yeah, down here with New South Wales coach Laurie Daly. And Loz, what are your thought of the game so far, mate?
Yeah, I think it's been terrific, Finchy. Obviously, both sides are evenly matched and we're playing some good football, so pretty happy.
Must be impressed with how willing both teams have been to start the game.
Yeah, I think that's what we're all after. Just both teams have showed plenty of effort and plenty of commitment, and I think it'll be close. You know, there's still 24 minutes to go, quite an even game, and some guys are playing good football.
And the battle of your old spot, mate, 5/8. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, both of them are going well. Obviously, playing with different players, but I'm happy with their performances so far.
Thanks, mate. Let you get back to it.
I didn't give you anything, but
Brett Vince there talking to the most capped of all Country players, Laurie Daly. He played 7, I think it was, for Country. Here is Tupou.
It's always the way this time of year. I mean, we're still weeks away from naming the first Origin side, and everyone gets into the Origin coach saying, who do you like, what do you need, what's your contentious position, and you learn over a period of time that it's no good getting your heart set on anyone. It's no good getting your heart set on any combination until you actually get to the day of the selections and find out who's available. Injury, suspension will all play their part between now and selection day. You need to know how you want to play Queensland, where their dangers are, what defence you need to combat that, and how you're going to score points and who you need to do it. So Those better combinations are important.
Two-man tackle there, and that's a steal under the rules of the game. So City again, they're getting these little piggybacks, aren't they? Plenty of them in the last 10 minutes of this game, but they still haven't been able to whittle away the deficit as Adam Reynolds gives it on, and it's come away from Fifita out to Moylan, and he attracts the attention of three of them, including Mullen and Scott and Idris. Here is a run from Dylan Walker, a dummy half, but he can't make it.
A great tackle by Jamal Idris there. He read that well. Other players hadn't.
Fifita's pass bouncing, and it's gone to Leisha, who gives it back to Woods. And Aaron put to ground this time. Not often do they get into the ground. Leisha from dummy half. That looks like it might be it. No, he's short. Another desperate tackle by Tolman. And so it's come down for Adam Reynolds. He kicks over into the corner. Look at this big fella up there. But he had a hand on it this time. He could not complete. And the look on Kevin Gordon's face with Big Tupou storming down like a jumbo.
What about this young fella, Michael Leisha? Now, his NRL experience is extremely limited. You could virtually say he's come out of the juniors and reserve grade football into city country. But he plays like he thinks he belongs. I was tipped this kid 3 or 4 years ago. I watched his development. He's been dominant in lower grades coming through. And he's walked out here with the big boys. And he plays like he owns the place.
Knock on by Mitch Rain. So it's almost like Country are inviting City to come and join them. The repeat sets that they have had has been probably up towards the 5 or 6 number. And there's a knock-on from Mitch Rain, which will see City loose head and feed.
Yeah, they're going through a good period here, the City boys. Brought on by a couple of penalties and some mistakes from Country. They're actually playing pretty well, City, in attack. They just can't find the pass to breach the defence, and you've got to commend the Country defence for that. Their decision-making on the edges has been very good. Jared Mullen and Idris on the left. Whiten on the other side's been good.
It's Reynolds kicking for the speed of Dylan Walker. Walker leading the race. No, David Mead came up in front of him. And Mead rakes it dead. Beautifully constructed, but David Mead had other ideas.
He looked home, Dylan Walker. Yeah. How fast must David Mead? He comes from the back of the scrum there. Watch David Mead, the back of the scrum. He packed in a lock and then watch it here. Puts the foot down and just runs away from Dylan Walker.
Yeah, well, 10 out of 10 for creativity and 10 out of 10 for David Mead.
Behind the line, Tyrone.
Speed, give me speed. Give me David Mead.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Wordsworth. Here's David Clemmer. I was just looking at that footy show promo going through. Benji Marshall's on that show with Josh Reynolds and Dave Hughes. And Finchy, Brett Finch, will go one-on-one with Greg Bird on the Logie Award-winning footy show on Thursday night. Clemmer. Leisha. And now Woods. He goes short into Fifita. He puts it down. And Mullen has got no advantage out of it. And Badger will call them back rather than giving them possession with Mullen. Back where the knock-on occurred is some 10 metres down the ground. We'll break from Dubbo and come back in just a moment. It's not the hamstring, thankfully.
Head in. 2 hands.
Country feeding the scrum as we welcome you back to this bumping run by Jamal Idris. Sends them scattering like 10 pins. And now, here is Bo Scott and able to get rid of the ball to his former Dragons teammate, Mitch Ray.
He's a very good player, Bo Scott. 100% reliable in any situation. There is nothing soft about him. And as we've seen today, a couple of good offloads, one produced a try.
It's something he's developed in his game, hasn't he, Bo Scott? The late offload. He's a great defensive player, organises his edge of defence well, and a very effective defender. Super aggressive.
20 metres out now. And Tolman carries it to them. Peter in an inspired mood at the moment. I think after that knock-on of his. Mullen then with this kick, and Jamal has scored! Super try! Spectacular! The kick from Mullen, absolutely picture perfect, and the biggest human being on earth scores the try.
The biggest human being in history, Rabbits, in history. There's never been a bigger human being in all of creation. He doesn't get up as high as Daniel Tupou. It'll be hard to lift that frame off the tarmac very high at all, but just his sheer height here, he's able to leap up, grab the ball from Tafua, and in he goes.
He's like a big Ace 380, isn't he? They can't get this into the air.
He needs a wind-up to get it up there.
If we can get a shot of the wide shot here, you can watch Jamal. Just keep your eyes on Jamal, the way he attacks the ball but changes his line. Watch this for athleticism. He goes forward, then he judges where the ball's going to come down. Look at this. And now he comes inside Dylan Walker there. You spoke about how smart a player he has. Tremendous vision. He knows where the ball is.
Well, what he was doing there, Dylan Walker was watching Idris, and all he wanted to do was get in Idris's way. So Idris took him wide and then beat him on the inside for the ball. Walker's not watching the ball, so Idris said, I'll make you think the ball's going wide. Let's go this way.
That's cluey.
Yeah, that's really smart. And then went back to where the line of the ball was, and Walker couldn't get in front of him. Well picked up, Joey, but well played, Jamal.
The Panther. The newest of all Panthers. So the kick is successful off the boot of Tyrone Roberts. What a rise he's had up through the ranks, Tyrone Roberts. Tonight on 9, the news at 6. 6:30, The Voice blind auditions. No Gus, he's not on it tonight. And 60 minutes at 8 o'clock. But we'll get him a berth. Don't worry about that. We'll get him a berth. Adam Reynolds restarts. Going floating down to this man who's had a super game. And this is Tarek Sims. Oh, look at this. No thought of self-preservation. They had him on the human armchair, and they're going to drive him, and all he wants to do is give it to a support player. Well done, Tarek. Jack Whiten. Jack or Jake, I'm not sure.
Well, on the run of play, City have probably been the better side in this second half. They just haven't been able to convert pressure into points. Country only got one visit down there, and they've been able to come up with a try that gives them a handy break with only 15 minutes to play. This game will open up now with a 10-point break in the scoreline. City will get adventurous.
Mullen then, 2 metres into opposition territory, kicking, but picking up Moylan. The two number ones today, they've had wonderful game. Here's Idris on Tafua now. Brett Finch again, a comment from the sideline.
Yeah, touching on those number ones, Ray. Both boys have been outstanding today. May not get a sky blue jumper this year with Dugan and Jared Hayne dominating most of the headlines for that. But geez, they haven't done their chances no harm here today. They've been great.
I think all the young players have really
I was making the point, sorry, I made the point earlier, Brett, that, you know, you just mentioned two of the leading lights, and then there's Brett Stewart, but underneath them there's another, what's the word, strata of player, and we're seeing a couple of them here today, aren't we?
Certainly are, mate. They look right at home, very confident.
Kevin Gordon, Andrew, sorry to interrupt you.
I was looking at some of the players who have really stood out. Some of the young players have been exceptional. This young man here.
You like this kid?
I like him. Jeez, he's tough.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's going somewhere, that's for sure. Tarek Sims is coming off. That might have been an injury he suffered in that tackle I described. He was being driven into the ground, but all he wanted to do was get the ball to his teammate. was a wonderful show of courage, and he doesn't deserve any more bad luck, Tariq Sims. He's had his career punctuated by broken legs. Now Tyrone Roberts is able to go almost to the line. He'll play the ball 5 away if he can, getting up gingerly. And now Rain for Mullen, who steps, then plugs a kick in, and it's battered dead by Moylan.
Coming through, Badge.
That's good work by Matty Moylan, the fullback. He was actually involved in the tackle and the play the ball previous to the tackle 5 play, but that was a release himself and get back and punch it dead. And Jared Mullen again with his kicking game. Very, very dangerous. There's Moylan in the tackle on Roberts, and he's back here on the next play, punching the ball dead in goal. So he didn't rest on his laurels.
This is Finucane charging back. Play just inside 30 now. And we have about 13 minutes of the game remaining. So, since this game started, Mullen then turning it into Idris, and here's David Mead looking for 3, but it's a forward pass.
Wow.
Forward pass. We'll take a break. We'll come back for the scrum restart in just a moment.
Heads in. Hold it, Jamal. Wait for the out, Tyrone. Second row is Tyrone.
Back at Caltex Park here in this beautiful city of Dubbo. It's like the middle of a wheel, Dubbo, if I can describe it like that. Roads go everywhere, and major link roads. They go pretty much right across the state and across the country, and they all intersect here at Dubbo. And here is Docker picking up the ball for Country. They played here in 2006, and Country got a narrow victory. Idris now. Oh, look at Idris really putting himself into the game. Here's a chance for McManus. He steps, he puts it over the line. The Nova Caspian winger scored. Country's in again. What about the biggest human being?
Yeah, it's funny. I was at the team hotel this morning, the Country team hotel. Well, it's actually in the afternoon. It was a bit after midday, and Big Jamal walked into the dining area. I thought he was coming in for lunch. He'd just woken up. He was coming in for breakfast at midday, and he said, "I think I'm ready." Dylan Walker came in and tried to put the charge on him there.
Dylan Walker better pick his mark a bit better.
Yeah, Dylan Walker came in for the charge there, and Big Jamal just went kabang, knocked him out of the way, and then gridironed the ball across to his winger for the try. And
it was funny. I walked into the sheds to have a look at the players because there's a few of my, it's a hard match to do this, let me say that. But I bumped the big fella Jamal. I bumped him on the Footy Show one memorable night. We danced. We actually did a little bit of a jazz waltz together. So I said to him, "Would you like to dance?" And he had the earpieces in. He said, "I've got the music. I got the music going now, brother."
He'll sing it for you.
Brett Finch.
Impressive part about that, guys, was as soon as the turnover happened, Jamal just accelerated in position. He wanted the footy, he demanded the footy, and one thing about Jamal, he's certainly a laid-back character, but when he's in that frame of mind, like he's aggressive and carrying the footy like he is there, geez, he's almost unstoppable.
I wonder what's running through the mind of Laurie Daly. Just watching these last passages of play, some of his defence on Tafua has been ridiculously outstanding. And then you just saw what he can do when he puts his mind to it. Roberts, it's an angular kick and he's missed it. So the scoreboard, 26-10, Friday night in New South Wales First. You'll see that game. The Premier's up against the Tigers. The Cowboys and the Broncos provide the Queensland Derby from Townsville. That's your Queensland first game up. And then next Sunday, we go to ANZ. Oh, it's a beautiful takeover there by Whiten. Sprinting down the left side and almost through. Sunday, Dragons Dogs at ANZ Stadium. What a ripper of a weekend for you. As, the ball bounces away to Rain now. And Mitch playing the ball. 5 line breaks to 1. Way. Tolman. Well, they look safe, don't they? 26-10 for Newcombe. And the timepiece now 9 minutes to go. And Wayne goes on and plays football while the player of the ball and the marker were having a little dispute. Tolman, Mullen kicks. He's looking for Rocco. He hasn't got the speed. In fact, I think it's gone dead off the kick from Mullen. So to come back for the 7-tackle restart taken by Tafua. Well, you were tentative with some of your comments earlier, assistant coach Dan Badiris, but they've been very good after that invitation they offered City for a long period of time earlier on.
Absolutely, Rabs. I think we had 10 sets on our line, so we've been working real hard on some origin sort of mentality things this week, and that was one of them on defence. So we're really, really wrapped with it.
The Tupou's kick was very good. We haven't got time to discuss it now because David Mead, I was about to say, is off and on his way, but Tupou was able to generate a kick off his left foot running down that right touchline. And had there been a player coming down the middle, it would have been perfect for him. But Mead, as he has been all day, has been equal to every task. Jackson. Tolman. That's Docker. Ice is on the ankle of Tariq Sims. Good. Now, it's Roberts kicking into the corner. Moylan looks around, and he went back to the sideline. He obviously thought he could beat Gordon on the sideline, but he didn't. He didn't go into touch either. That's Hopewati. He'll play the ball 11 away from his own line, so they're very much on the wrong end of everything now. 7 minutes, less than that to go, and they've got 16 points to make up. And here's a high stepping run from David Clemmer. And away goes Josh Reynolds from dummy half. Hopewati is with the ball now. Some spectacular tries in this game today. And Reynolds, Adam with a little kick and a chase, and it throws his body in front of it. I think it's Mullen. City going down the ground with Fafita. He's had the ball taken. That's a steal.
Quick.
There were two players in the tackle.
Make it back, Jared. Wait. Okay.
Alicia gives it to Fafita. Fafita offloading. Hopewati's pass has gone into touch.
Okay there, Badge. Yeah, they did. That was controlled. Yeah, it was. We did control the touch.
Brett Finch again. Yes, Brett.
Yeah, just on Tariq Sims, Ray. He come off the field with a rolled ankle, and the country doctor has said he'll be 50-50 at best for Friday night's game against Brisbane. So a nervous wait for the Cowboys.
It's a shame for Tariq because I was reading about his aspirations to really put himself back under focus, under selection focus. And as I've said a couple of times today, because of injury, he's had no good luck. It's all been bad. Tupou. That's Tariq Sims. And here is Adam Reynolds offloading. Chance here for Burrard. He's able to... No, he was trying to offload and pulled it back in. Taken by Docker. Here's Fafita, close to the line, got the ball away. Here's Williams with it now, and he pushes away one. He puts a lofted pass out to Dylan Walker, and he gets the ball out the back. It's gone away from Moylan. It's with Hoffman now. Now it's back to Moylan. The Moylan and Hoffman show. Back to Williams now. Lofted across the top to Adam Reynolds. Adam Reynolds is able to pass. It's finished up with Andrew Fafita. He brushes away. He's heading for the corner. Andrew Fafita scores for the City side. How many sets of hands or passes were there?
323. But again, this big fella, Andrew Fafita, his athleticism, his speed is just, well, it's not like a normal front rower. There he is starting to play with the offload back to Williams. The D-Max Isuzu replay, a loop pass out to Dylan Walker. He pops it out the back here. It's picked up by Moylan. Moylan to Hoffman. Hoffman back in field to Moylan. Moylan heads back, picks up Williams. Williams with a lazy one, picks up Reynolds. Reynolds gets it, dummy, pulls it out the back. It'll end up with Fafita. Now, watch this. Speed, bang. Around Whiten and scurries to the corner. I don't think another front rower in the game could do that.
Gus, I want to talk to the assistant coach here for Country, Danny Medeiros. We had a conversation last year. I was asking you about Andrew Fafita. And you said he's one of the hardest players you've ever had to tackle.
Yeah, with Andrew, you've got to go in and tackle the ball first. And he's one of those blokes you don't really want to do that all the time, where you've got to defend the ball. You want to go to make good contact. But with him, you've got to grab the ball. And he sort of loses his power a little bit. So didn't do that too many times then.
Lovely kick in the meantime from Adam Reynolds. So David Boyle passing some information along the line to Danny Medeiros from the coach.
Yeah, strong finish. Yeah. Two behind it.
They've kept him busy today, Danny, haven't they? Very much been on his bike.
Well, still 3.5 minutes to go here. A try in the next couple of possessions will set us up for a grandstand finish. They haven't given up the City boys. And to be honest, there hasn't been much between the two teams. Probably just a little better execution in the kicking game at the business end of the field from the Country boys. Probably put that down to Jared Mullen.
Big tackle. Hoffman taken by Docker there. And Mullen involved in the tackle. Now Buehrer. If you had to give a points decision on the Sixers, Gus, would you lean or would you prefer to stay on the halfway? Here's a kick across the ground for Daniel Tupou. And he's able to give it back to William Hopewadi. I think it's gone into touch though. Yes,
knocked out. Off country.
And it's come off country, so it'll be a City loose head and feed. Phil?
Honestly, Ray, if you were going to make a decision between the two 5'8s today, Mullins or Reynolds, it's irrelevant how each of them are played. It's more how you want New South Wales to play, because they're completely different players. They've got different talents. They bring different things to the game. Mullins' astuteness with his passing and his kicking game can wheel you into good positions. He can execute and score your tries. This fella is just all effort and tempo and keeping you upbeat and beavering around the field looking for opportunities. And both can be very effective in Origin. Reynolds might make a perfect bench partner because he can play hooker as well if you didn't want to take a specialist hooker on the bench. So they've both got different attributes. It's not who plays the best, it's how the coach wants to play.
The City is really milking as much out of it as they can. Buehrer, and he's jammed up in a tackle there by Rocco and Docker. And away from the dummy half to Adam Reynolds. And he shows it to a couple before hitting Hopewadi, who got it to Tupou, and did Tupou get the ball down?
Okay.
This may be a try. Let's see.
We have a try.
Yeah, the referee thinks it's a try. And it's been scored by Daniel Tupou. It's one of these freak winger tries or put downs. It'll take us to 26-20.
Well, he's right on the sideline there. He tippy toes with the left foot, tippy toes with the right foot. No touch on the line. That is brilliant.
Amazing.
Nothing short of brilliant. How does he know where the line and his feet will be? He tippy toes on both those last two strides, and then with the big long extension, he's got extender arms, kids. He's got extender arms. He can make them longer.
Try. It's just amazing, some of these wingers and what they can do. But there's Daniel with another exhibition of the freakishness of our wingers today.
It was lovely play by Josh Reynolds, and I like that going across the line. Adam Reynolds, sorry, going across the line and dummying back on the inside rather than constantly having that decoy runner running in front of them. But as I said, this will set up the grandstand finish. He wants to hurry up with this, whether he kicks it or not.
It's just getting away. So it's a 6-point ball game, 26-20, and there's just over a minute to go.
Well, strap yourself in here because this will be an interesting set of 6, and I'd imagine if they can't get an offload or a trick shot in the first 3 or 4 tackles, then we might look at an early cross-field kick. Or
I get the feeling something might happen on play one, Gus. I'm watching Fafita on the dead ball line. He's screaming at his teammates. There might be a trick shot on the first play.
So Roberts as long down to the try line, fielded by Reynolds. Josh Moylan across. Walker's got the ball. Walker's around Idris. Here he comes to Mead, and Mead makes the tackle. 37 metres away from the country line. They're 6 points behind City, though, with the clock their biggest enemy at the moment. 44 seconds to go in the game. Fafita is pulled down. Williams is with it. Williams allowed to run, then throwing it willy-nilly to Reynolds. Back to Adam Reynolds now. He'll come wide, out to Hoffman on the left. Now it's gone to Dylan Walker. Again he comes to Idris, and Idris puts him down again. 9 metres out from the line. And 15 seconds left on the clock. 26 to 20 as it goes from Reynolds. Adam across. It's with Josh now, having taken it on the feet. It's back now to Tony Williams. Williams pirouettes, goes back to the 20-metre line. Got the ball away to Hopewadi. Hopewadi for the line. Hopewadi scores. William Hopewadi has scored. They need to convert, and it'll be a 26-all draw with no golden point.
2 tries in the last 3.5 minutes. Sometimes when you say it's possible, you don't necessarily believe it, but you've got to leave the door open. And the door open was for City to throw it around right from the kickoff, as predicted by Andrew Johns. Long ball, and Walker with beautiful speed on the outside. He gets the set of 6 ignited. They looked a chance on every single play the ball here of coming up with the try, and in the end, Hopewadi with a big right foot step back on the inside, finds some loose defence, scurries in, and they have a kick from alongside the posts to level it up here at Dubbo. 26-24 the score. The siren is gone. Adam Reynolds to level up, and a draw could well be the fitting result.
There's the KFC man of the match, Jamal Idris, the country centre. Has taken out the Colonel's award. Reynolds has kicked it. It will end as a draw. No golden point in this game. 26 to 26. 5 tries apiece. In front of a crowd of probably around 10,000 on a cold day in Dubbo, who have hosted the game and hosted it beautifully. So from the football out here at Dubbo, we take you across to National 9 News.